Okay, here we are, I think. Welcome. Thanks to CostaCon for accommodating us in these, I think it's 30 minutes. So today I'm going to talk about a bit about the theme park, Studios of Imagination. I'll be going through some of our history and our biggest coaster, Paddock Escape, where we conveniently just released on-ride POVs, etc. from on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, you can watch it back. This stream, I think you can't watch back, so well, that's unfortunate. I think on the Twitch stream you can see my screen right now. So I'm in the server, which is nice. Yes, here we are. So this is Studios of Imagination as it is. I think the best way to start is talking about our history. Ruud and I, we both worked on Cavelli. I think that was in like 2019, 2020. And after that, we just continued that park in 2020, and then we started working on this one. So we went for a new name, new park, new IDs, we wanted to do something bigger and something better and something that was more organized. And that's eventually what this park became. I only have 15 to 30 minutes. So I'll talk a bit about our areas, etc. But not too much because I don't have a lot of time. What's important to note is this summer, Ruud and I both visited Walt Disney World and Universal in Orlando, and we came to the conclusion that the park as it currently is not really what we want it to be. We want to go for something different, something new, something a bit grander. So everything you see today in this panel will be discontinued, and we will never open it to the public. But there's still a lot of cool things to see and to show and to talk about, so that's what we'll do for the next 30 minutes. So, let's go in. We have no audio, copyright issues, so just as it is. You won't miss anything. The music here is, I think, all from Studio 100 classics, which we used in Cavelli, so it's a bit of an, a bit of a nod to the old park. Well, going in is just easy. You can just walk in, or you could walk in if we ever opened it. And we have one of the animatronics here taking a picture of us. I think we can do that if we go stand here. If it works. Yeah, there we go. Well, this one has glitches, which we never fixed because, well, we're never showing it to anybody. The entrance is, of course, based on the Efteling Grand Hotel, which most of you have probably seen already. But it's also a train station. When we started working on the park train, we wanted it to go through the area and not around it, and therefore we had to build a station on the same level as the street. So we put it underneath the hotel, the entrance. So that's why it's on a higher level. I think I'm not a big fan of it. So I mean, I guess I'm glad it's going. It does have a nice atmosphere. It looks quite fun. So that's nice. We of course have these, how do we call it? You know what this is, the scoreboard for the rides. So this was in kilometers or miles, or and you could get on the train and go to the Jurassic World area, leaderboards, right? But I think you could buy pizza here. I'm not going to show that. Maybe we'll use that in the new park. So not going to show everything, of course. Before going into the main street itself, we're going to the left, and I'm going to talk about the theater. In Cavelli, we used to do panels like this, where we talk about our park and what we wanted to do in the future and what we were working on right now. And we wanted to continue that in Studios of Imagination, and therefore we built a theater which we could operate, and we could. This fits around 100 guests, which is our limit on the server. And as staff, I could disable the seats and open the doors and blah blah blah, which is nice. But yes, this is also going. I think we're getting a new version. Spoilers, so something bigger. I think this is quite small and not really that special. We had a flip bar up, which was nice, but I won't show that. Let's go out. We go here. Nice. This will come back later. Well, this is our main street. It's quite small, as you can see. I can fly through it in 10 seconds. We have 4 or 5 shops. We have Starbucks, which is a nod to what we had in Carvelli. So that's nice. We have an Emporium, which I will not enter because we will probably reuse the cosmetics we have in this park. So I won't go in. You also can't see anything, I think. Yeah. And we have a bakery and a candy store, which I will also not go. I can go in. I just won't enter the candy store experience, which is right here. Which is probably also something we are going to do in the second park, the new park. Yeah, so that's quite nice. I won't talk about that too much, so I'm going to quit talking about the new park. The bakery is something nice to tell you about. Ruud and I both visit Efteling a lot, and they have this nice bakery called Bakkerij Krumel over there, which sells these bread pizzas, which are these are quite nice. So we eat these quite a lot, and this is kind of a AliExpress look-alike. It's a bit of a well, the building looks nice, but the interior is a bit weird for Main Street, but yeah, it's fun. So, but this will also go. Yeah, it's a knockoff version, right? Then we have the arcade, which I wanted to show. This is, of course, based on the arcade from Disneyland Paris, which we really liked, and we wanted to do a small version of that. There's nothing to do here. You can enter the theater. If I break this block, you are in the theater. So that's nice, and that's about it. Of course, there are other things to do, like buy items, but I won't show that because the systems and the items we use for that we'll probably take with us to the new park. You may have noticed we don't have a big weenie. We have this huge lake and this nice pier right here with the adventure area, which I will not talk about, the Star Wars area, which I will not talk about, and Jurassic World, which I will talk about. This was supposed to be one of the viewing platforms for our water show, which is right in here. But we never made a water show, so I can't show anything. It's basically based on Universal's Islands of Adventure, as you can probably imagine right now with the Velocicoaster ripoff. And I think that's what we'll talk about next. So let's go over there. Oh, this is also nice. We have a Carventure grave. Yeah, important to note. So let's walk into the Jurassic World area, which has these nice signs I made. Or we made, sorry. With the, of course, big coaster. Oh, there it comes. Nice. Yes, CV mentions. Very nice. So, as you've probably already seen, this is our coaster Paddock Escape, which is based off of Velocicoaster in Universal Orlando. Fun fact, we started with this coaster in, I think development started in 2021, so that's 3.5 years ago right now. And we have about 20 different versions of this, we've made about 20 different versions. So a lot of development through the years. And if you want to see that, it's on YouTube if you're in our Discord server, which you can enter by typing our name in your browser, .net/Discord. You can enter our Discord server. There's more information about it over there. So Paddock Escape construction started at the same time as Velocicoaster. So we had no idea how it was going to look. So most of it was just based off on concepts other people published on YouTube first. And then eventually we started to tweak it a bit. So the entrance got built at Universal. So we rebuilt it over here. Blah, blah, blah. I can talk about it for days, but let's just keep it short. The entrance area is almost exactly the same with the top hat, the visitor center, and the entrance over here with the fast pass system, which I can show maybe later. But for now, let's go in. As you can see, this is a smaller version of Velocicoaster because we didn't have the space. Because, well, when we first started building, we didn't think we would need that much space. And then eventually we started building bigger and bigger and bigger, and we didn't want to redo the queue. So basically it's just as it is right now. The queue line is not that special. There's not really a story. I mean, we first built the coaster, then made a story. So just all a bit, well, why not? And let's just go what we have and we'll see. This is of course something we also have in Universal, the screens. Then we have the raptors over here, which are really cool. Those are made by Luca, who is in the crowd right now, I think. So he made those, and he also made the ones in the ride, so that's fun to note. There's also not too special lockers, which do not have a function. You could go upstairs, go to the right, and then you get to the station. Well, that's basically the entire queue line. And you could skip that using a fast pass. I don't think I will show that. It's just a smaller version of the same queue. It's not special. I think we right now, yes, yeah. Okay, now nice. I will be quiet while riding, so you can enjoy. We of course have no audio, but doesn't matter. That was Paddock Escape. So the animatronics in both the queue and the ride are made with train cards and are really old. I think the ones in the pre-show, like the first launch, were made in 2021. Luca, correct me if I'm wrong. He made those, and then they were never redone. The camera moves by doing using a mod called Smooth Coasters, so that's nice. And we have a bit longer. I can go for another 50 minutes if I want, so we have no worries on time. Just like we had in Gravelly, we have these control panels over here. In Gravelly, we were, I think, the first server to do so, so we of course wanted to do that again over here, but simplified the process just for pass holders who are FIPS to make it a bit easier to operate. So basically you have the claim button, and then you have the restraints and the gates. All fairly standard. Something pass holders wanted to do in Gravelly, which they couldn't, was transfer, I think. I'm not sure, but if they could, it was quite a difficult process. So we redid that whole system, which means you can now go in here and add or remove a train. So you can currently see we have 2 trains on the track and 1 in the storage. So if I wanted to remove this train, I would just press this button, train would move backwards and would go into the storage, where it would quickly respawn as a fake entity, so that it wouldn't take up any of the in-game memory. So you can see over here, it's yeah, you almost can't see it. Okay, now you can see that whenever I walk out of the storage, they disappear, so that whenever I'm in the queue or station and the trains are not on the track, they will not cause any lag issues. And I can add a train at the same time, so if I press add, this train will go through the track and the other one will come back out of the transfer. The idea with this was that it was so easy that pass holders and other members who could operate could do this on their own without any difficulties. The same goes for the rollbacks, which we had in Cavelli, but were only accessible for crew, so only crew could activate those. And we wanted to make this public, so I can press the rollback button now, and other people could do that as well, once every 20 minutes. And now the train, which is now going to the track, will do a rollback on launch 2. So I'm going to follow it, just so you can see that. Of course, we had safety issues with this, because what if a cast member or a VIP disconnects after pushing rollback? It had to reset on itself and unclaim, and you run into a whole lot of issues. But eventually, it's quite nice. Also good to know, as I see Burger Killers online, this was all done with train cards. So I think the panel used to be train cards. It isn't anymore, but the track and the animatronics are all made with train cards, including then our own plugin, which makes sure everything works fine. Yeah. The panel was train cards. It's now custom. Okay. Now then you can come down here and you can reset it from here, or you can reset it from the panel. But for now we'll reset it from here. So I just press the reset button. The train goes backwards, and then goes forwards again, and completes the circuit. The same goes for rollback 1, goes back, and you can reset it from here or from the control panel, which is quite nice. Basically, the control panel is, I think I can show that, it's basically just a lot of armor stands, which are not loaded in when you're outside here. And you can press them and they have like a command bind to them. I think that's the simplified version. Something we also made was this part of the control panel, which shows where the train currently is. So this train is currently going on launch 1, and the other train is currently in sector 2, which is behind the second launch, like the big track with the roll over the water. So that's Paddock Escape. We used to have sounds, but they don't work. And we have the statistics, so it almost has 10,000 rides right now, and it has been ridden by 730 different accounts, but those are bots for testing purposes. Well, we have a whole backstage area, which I won't show, so we'll just go to the exit and go further into the Jurassic World area and show you a little bit more. This is our visitor center with the big banner, John Hammond, a raptor, because I was too lazy to make a huge skeleton. Yeah, and we have a Starbucks over here, and a small shop, which I never finished, because we didn't really have cosmetics yet for this area. So, just for location purposes, I'm currently like behind the visitor center, and the path next to the stalls over there. So now I will go to the right, go to the left, and oh, here it is, the park train. We'll skip that. Here I was working on a photo point with a gyrosphere, but I will never finish that, of course. And here is our Jurassic World Dark Ride, which is based off the one in, I believe it's Shanghai. I think, I'm not sure. I think it's Universal Shanghai, but correct me if I'm wrong. We never finished this. This is mostly the work of Alice Beijing. Here I did make a nice Mosasaurus skeleton. The idea with this was to create a ride which takes you through the park, so actually with dark ride scenes, and then has outdoor coaster sections with the same ride system as Arthur in Europa Park. So dark ride, coaster, dark ride, with some nice elevators, of course big dinosaur animatronics, etc. So this is all pretty new. I think this was done, 70 days ago. So that's fun. We could go in here, go to the station. We need to update Core Protect. Well, this would then be the station with the control panel over here, which is the same as Paddock Escapes. And you could go in here, go to the park, through the Jurassic Park gates, and blah blah blah. But the whole story about this, I won't tell everything. In the end, you encounter the T-Rex, and you have to escape the building. You go out here, and you have a bit of outdoor coaster section, and you go back in, and you're safe. A classic Jurassic Park World attraction. And we have this smaller kids area, which we also never finished. With the smaller rides. I think these are made by Zamperla. I have no idea what the type name is. The idea is you go swinging behind this in circles. Just a smaller infill ride with a small playground. Then you could of course watch Paddock Escape from the outside, and therefore we recreated the paddock from Universal. Universal, they of course have colored lights, but that's difficult in Minecraft. You can do that with shaders, but it requires a guest to enable different sort of shader options, and it's just too specific, so we canceled that, and we just made this. Basically, whenever the train comes through the lounge or close to the paddock, the lights go out or the lights go on. It's fairly simple, but at night it just like, yeah, it's a nice atmosphere. You can hear the train with the audio server, but we have no audio. Yeah, you can see it going by. There it goes. And then it will go through for the last time, I think, right now. Yeah, there we go. And they go out one by one. And what is quite nice, the lights will go on if it passes the top hat. So if it didn't pass the top hat, the lights will stay out. So in case of a rollback, the lights will stay on red unless it goes over like it did now. As I said before, we had a park train which went through here and ended up behind the paddock. Right over here. I think it just left, yeah. Yeah, it's basically you could go in here, the train flips, you go to the station at the entrance and you go back. Of course, whenever the other areas were developed, we wanted to make a circle, but for now it was just going from here to the entrance. And we have this smaller kiddie ride with, I think it's like, it's called, what's it called in Fantasia Land? Tikal. It's called Tikal. Also just a smaller info ride with some nice views of Paddock Escape and the jungle, which is quite nice. I think that's also just train cards with animations, I think, which is also quite nice, and with the same leaderboards. And that's basically the area. We'll fly around it real quick. So we have the paddock, we have the playground, we have another playground, the dark ride, and the visitor center. Nice timing. But yeah, as I said, we're discontinuing this because when we visited Universal and Disney, we came up with a lot of ideas, and we were Disney was quite inspirational for us. We saw a lot of things we wanted to do but couldn't do in the current version of the park. And if you look at the scale of the Jurassic World area, it's enormous. And if you then look at the main street, it's quite small. Sorry for the politeness effect. So we're working on something new, something I won't show, because it's just not done yet. So we'll announce that whenever it's done, and whenever we have something to announce, it will be posted on Twitter and on Discord. As I said, Discord, studiosofImagination.net/Discord in your browser, and you'll get the invite link. And that's basically it. I can talk a lot more about other things in the park and details, but it's just not worth it because, well, we're discontinuing it. Rito wants to know that the plugin is made at Kotlin. Nice. So that's basically it for us. Again, we want to thank the team of Coasticon for accommodating us on such short notice. And we thank everyone for coming and listening. So you have a good day. Thank you.